Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst and Pat McSherry and the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water. This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of In-Depth Outdoors. I'm your host, James Holst. Now that we're starting to get some much warmer weather, all of our minds here at In-Depth Outdoors are starting to think about bass fishing. And last summer, there were 2 trips that really stuck out in our mind as being truly special. We're going to share those with you here today. One of the things we added to our arsenal last year was a jet boat. That was something that I've always wanted to own because it would open up new areas to get out and chase smallmouth bass in particular. That's the first part of our show. PJ, Vic, and I hit Green Bay. We run up a tributary on the western shoreline and we get in on some phenomenal bronzeback. The second half of the show, we transition to Mille Lacs Lake. It's Pat fishing with Brad Hawthorne. It's a late summer pattern and they get on some jumbo. So stick around. These 2 patterns, if you're a bronzeback fan, should really put a smile on your face. So stick around. I think you're going to love today's show. Tight.
Yeah, that looks beautiful though.
There's going to be a lot of this,
Yeah.
like endless good looking stuff to fish.
Nice gentle flow coming through there. Looks good.
You fishing tube?
Yeah.
I'm fishing a little pulsar, something that's kind of like smally walleye compatible.
There he is. There we go. I was right. That's a smallmouth. That's a good way to start the day for sure. There we go. Oh yeah. Nice chunker. It totally gulped it. Little half moon finesse jig and a 2 3/4 inch, it's a Z-Man tube jig. That was a predictable fish. I'm thinking one of many.
You know, the conditions this spring have just been so up and down that, you know, those big bodies of water like Green Bay just haven't been warming up. Water temps were 47, 48 degrees yesterday morning. So we got to thinking, warmest water's up in the river and there's so much volume of water. Heck yeah. This is where the fish would be.
And you were right.
You know what, we're not always right.
This one isn't quite as big, but great fight. Off you go. Got that one. Ooh. Oop, there's one right away.
Get him, Peach.
Got him.
Good one?
Doubles are cool though. Yeah, that's a nice fish.
Double donkeys.
Yeah, that was a nice
Today's
fish.
a good day.
Yeah. That is what we're looking for.
Want a net?
I think we better on that one. That's a big fish.
I'm here to help.
Ooh. So much power.
Oh, that's legit, buddy.
Holy cow.
Nicely done.
That is what we're talking about. Look at the belly on that fish.
This is a good one.
Doubles.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I think that one's probably approaching the 5+ pound range.
That is the biggest fish so far.
Get that one back. Oof. What a chunk. Off you go, bud. There we go.
Good one?
Oh,
Hey, ain't a bad
yeah.
one, buddy. That marabou
That
just
marabou is killing.
kills.
That is a big fish. And they're full of fight. Oh,
I think I got
look
her.
at that peg.
Oh, Peach. Oh, look at the belly on that thing.
Now that is a pregnant mama there. Oh, that's awesome. There we go.
Yes, sir. Come on, fish. I mean, how many nice ones have we taken off the tip of that tree? That one cooperated, just held her mouth right open and in went the thumb. Such great fish. You know, for a body of water that we've never fished before, I guess it's not much of a, you know, take a risk. I don't want to put it that way, but, you know, it's a shot in the dark.
It is.
This is gonna work.
Yeah.
It's working big time. I have that fish hooked.
That's one of the cool parts about the small rivers. I mean, the tactics are so universal. It's
right.
One small river is the same as the next.
That's a dandy fish. Tubes, marabou, and topwater leader in the summer. If you can fish those three things, you can absolutely beat these big smallmouth.
Yeah.
You don't know their names yet, but you will.
At Eskimo, we have the tools to help you enjoy your time on the ice. They say man needs food, clothing, and shelter. When it comes to shelter, we like the Outbreak 450i with its full-size no-trip door that's nearly 74% bigger than a standard door, making it much easier to load and unload. With 75 square feet of fishable area, you'll be warm and comfortable during your day on the ice. Check out the Outbreak 450i and our full line of products at geteskimo.com.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
This winter, set a trap for your next trophy with iFish Pro. The new iFish Pro 2.0 now offers an insulated base to help keep your ice hole from icing over and an upgraded rod holder for use with longer, heavier rods. Complete your ice fishing arsenal with iFish Pro, tactical ice gear that puts the fight back into tip-up fishing. Find iFish Pro online at ifishpro.com or at your favorite sporting goods retailer.
You know, looking for fish in areas with reduced current is just kind of like a basic of river fishing, but there is a scenario here today that's really stood out as the best of the best for us as far as where to target these fish, where are the biggest fish holding, and that's been any place we've got an island in the river, or any area where you might even have like a sandbar that comes out of the water. On the downstream end of that island or sandbar, where that structure drops back off down into deeper water, oh man, they have just been loaded. It's not one of those areas right now with all this current that really sticks out as, oh, that's where they're gonna be, but trust me, in high water scenarios like this, the downside of sandbars or islands, it's money right now. It's just loaded with fish.
There goes one in the current. I'm gonna bring it
Oh,
right through
no.
this slack water. Yeah, that's one of those ones, and there you are again.
Somebody's always hooked up on one. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
All right, we'll let that one go.
All right.
Off you go, bud.
There's just an absolute, you know, mother school right off the back of this boat in a spot. I mean, yeah, you can see a little current seam here, but it doesn't scream, oh, that's the best spot on the river. But it's like every cast. And it's been that way now for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, they must just be lined up right on that
Right.
underwater point.
Buffet table. One of the things I did do is I switched over to that marabou jig. I mean, I was catching just as many fish as PJ, but he had better fish. And this is my first cast with that VMC marabou. And that's a nice fish. I'm sure they just think that's something real buggy Back you go. Goodbye. So one of the baits we're using today, we're kind of two-stepping it here. We've got those small 2 3/4 inch tubes, and then we're also fishing a marabou jig. And you're not going to find these in a lot of bait shops. It's a really unique bait, and it's used by a lot of Great Lakes smallmouth anglers. And in the package, you look at it, it just comes like a puffball. But you put it in the water, those feathers, those marabou feathers, just kind of undulate and breathe. Just a really buggy-looking creature in the water that just big smallmouth just love. So if you haven't added this to your arsenal, you're going to want to do it. It's just a smallmouth killer. And that's what it looks like out of the package. Like I said, it's just a puffball, like a cotton ball, but black. You put it in the water, though, and it comes to life.
Ooh.
Right off the edge of the sandbar, buddy.
Looks like it means business again.
This marabou is like smallmouth magic.
It is.
Oh, look at that thing.
Oh.
That's a wide load there. Holy smokes. That's a future generation of smallmouth right there. All right. Man, is that a fat girl. She's gonna give birth to lots of baby smallmouth. All right, here we go. See ya. Man, I don't think that fish would have gone 19 inches.
No, just so tall and round.
I would bet.
Oh, there we go.
I would bet those are lake run fish. I bet you they drop eggs, and within 2 weeks from now they're back down.
I would think so. I mean, I'd have a hard time believing this large of smallmouth live up in this small river. They look like the lake fish. You know?
Smelt eaters.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting to that point where this is going to be a very memorable fishing trip.
The only thing we haven't done today is catch a 6-pounder.
Yeah.
And we're not done.
No, not even close. Really, I mean, the time that we've spent out here, not that much. No. For as many fish as we've caught.
That is a giant.
That is
Look
awesome
at that thing.
Fish. Wow. That is what I'm talking about. I mean, oh, as round as it is tall.
This is the best river smallmouth fishing I've ever had, bar none, no question about it, period.
Introducing Suffix Advanced Fluorocarbon. A new level of suppleness. A new level of toughness. A new level of sensitivity. A new category of fluorocarbon. Hello, future.
Available in 6 technique-specific models, the new custom series spinning rods from Okuma offer tournament-grade performance at a price all anglers can afford. Built on SCT blank technology featuring a dual helix carbon fiber wrap, Deadeye Custom Series rods offer an ultra-responsive blank that will handle the biggest walleye on your favorite bodies of water. Find the Deadeye Custom Series at your favorite sporting goods store today and see for yourself why Okuma is inspired fishing.
Glacial Lake Stock is your #1 source for Yeti ice houses. With our large inventory of new and used Yetis, our experienced staff will help you select the perfect model for the way you fish. From sale to service, Glacial Lake Stock has you covered. As an authorized Yeti service center, we can handle all your service or warranty needs and work to keep you fishing all winter long. Stop in today or check us out online at glaciallakestock.com and make this ice season your most enjoyable and comfortable ever.
The Boat Center is excited to announce the arrival of the Delta Series by Starcraft Boats. The Delta Series is a premium quality fishing boat that offers refined and highly functional storage, exceptional performance, and a lifetime +6 transferable warranty. All Delta Series boats are available with highly reliable Yamaha outboards. To learn more, stop in today or visit us online, theboatcenter.com. And as always, remember to have fun fishing.
Hey,
first cast.
Jeez,
I
haven't even got rigged up yet.
I think that's the non-target species though.
Is that a Walter?
I think it's a walleye. Man.
Not quite digging like a bass.
Not quite digging, but he came out of pretty deep water. No, that's a walleye. Again, that's typical Mille Lacs.
Right.
Going out for bass and having these pesky walleyes bug you all day.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
There we go. Boy, I just kind of came up on that one.
Is that the right flavor?
No, it's a walleye.
It is a walleye. You got to catch 5 or 6 walleye before the bass are like, okay.
Well, they're doing the same thing as the bass are, I'm sure, rooting around the rocks.
Rooting around, trying to find an easy meal.
Mm-hmm. There we go. That's a bass.
It gotta be a bass.
That's gotta be a bass.
Gotta be a bass. that one might be. So we Pat have been joking. We come out, and I'm like, we're probably gonna have to go through like 5, 6 walleye before they decide to give up the ghost and let the bass feed. That's gonna be your. That's actually a pretty good one.
There we go.
Oh, that is a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were saying, you gotta go through like 5 or 6 walleye to get the bass. And that right there, a lot of people, they kind of give up on Mille Lacs, this time of year. Dog days of summer, this and that. And you're not gonna come out here and catch 50 bass a day. But if you actually fish for them and get down there, man, this is what you're gonna catch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great starter fish.
Yeah. Get him back. There he goes.
Nice work. There's one.
Nice.
It's moving quick.
Moving quick? Not the right flavor. Maybe?
Yeah, it's the right flavor.
Right flavor?
Yeah.
Let me know if you need...
Maybe not.
No.
Oh, it's a nice bass.
Is it?
Yeah.
Want me to bag it for you?
Sure.
All right.
But anytime that these fish are kind of rooting around in the rocks, eating crayfish, something that hugs the bottom like a tube. Jeez,
Pat, I think he's got a really nice one on him.
He's a strong one. That's what's so fun about bass, though. I mean, they fight so hard compared to anything else, pound for pound.
Yeah, I seen Pat switch that tube, and I went, uh-oh. Yeah, it's a nice bass. That's a nice bass.
There we go.
Chunky bass.
That's what we're after right there. That's a beautiful Mille Lacs smallmouth.
Wow, Pat.
And that's all that fish was on. Was just a 2 3/4 inch fatty tube there. Beautiful fish. That makes the trip right there. That's a big bass.
That's a huge bass.
All right, we'll get him back. See you later. Back he goes.
One thing that not a lot of guys talk about, as it pertains to Mille Lacs and smallmouth, is I see a lot of guys come up and they're just rigged heavy. 30-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon. I mean, if you look at what me and Pat are using here, I got 832 on and 10-pound, 4.5-pound diameter, and then I'm quite simply just using a 6-pound Suffix fluorocarbon leader. Sometimes I'll go to 8. If the water gets cloudy, like we get a lot of rain, I can go to 10. But we're relatively using really light stuff, 3/8 and under. But the main thing I see a lot of guys do is tie and braid direct to their finesse presentations, or just using line that's way, way too heavy for Mille Lacs. You got to remember, I know you can't see it today, but we're usually able to see about 12 to 14 feet down in this body of water. So keep that in mind if you're coming to Mille Lacs and you're rigging your rods for the next day. That's like boat size.
Yeah. I was just dragging the tube back here.
This is super. I thought you were snagged there for a second. That's a bass.
Yeah, it's a bass.
Pat.
Oh, I haven't got on a good smallmouth bite all year. This is fun.
This one might be bigger than your last one, man.
Yeah, he's a nice one. He just cracked that tube. They just don't know when to give up, do they?
They don't. That's why I love them. They got so much heart and soul, and that one's got that stuff we were talking about earlier right on his head. That is a huge bass.
There we go. can barely hang on to him there. Wow. Nice bass.
Good job, Pat.
Thank you, sir. Just cracked that tube. See, he's a little roughed up there on his back. I don't know for sure what that is, but you know, there's been some speculation on if that's some kind of virus or if that's just them actually picking away in the rocks for those crawfish and different bait that are down there in the rocks, but we'll get them back. All right. So this is one of the most basic presentations for catching bass. When the bite's tough or when the bite's great, it works good too, but smallmouth have a really hard time turning down a tube. And something that's crayfish colored like that, down on the bottom, just crawling it along the rocks. I'm not working this bait very fast. I'm just slowly dragging, popping it off rocks, and those smallmouths are keying in on those crayfish that are down there, and that's what it's imitating. But that's it right there, just a 1/4 ounce tube head jig there, and just a 2 3/4 inch tube. All right, get back in there. See if we can upgrade to like a 5-pounder, huh?
Brandel GM in Aiken, Minnesota's only haggle-free Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer, is a proud sponsor of In-Depth Outdoors TV. Our Brandel value price ensures that you don't have to spend your entire day haggling to get a great deal. And every new vehicle comes with our exclusive gimmick-free lifetime powertrain warranty. Whether you're in need of service, sales, parts, or body shop repair, stop by our state-of-the-art facility in Aiken or visit us 24/7 at brandelgm.com.
Ice formation in its tracks, down to 20 degrees below zero with the new Ice Defense Pro Series from Cold Nation Outdoors. Lightweight and highly portable, Ice Defense is compatible with all flasher and camera brands. Ice Defense draws in warmer water from below to circulate at the top of your hole, creating a powerful thermoflow to melt away ice, slush, and snow. Spend time fighting the fish, not an icy hole. Ice Defense. Own the cold.
So basically what we're doing here is I look for isolated boulder piles, rock patches, gravel bars, whatever you want to call them. And we're not necessarily fishing huge boulders this time of year. We're fishing rock piles that are anywhere from, say, 50 yards across to, 600-800 yards long, and just finding where the fish aren't on them, running through with plastic and just plucking them out. But what I'm looking for is, I call it crayfish rock, where there's a lot of rock like this big, and with a few bigger boulders mixed in, bigger meaning like a 2 or 3 foot rock or boulder. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm basically looking for a massive amount of crayfish, because that's exactly what these smallmouth are eating. If you turn on your side imaging, just give it a look before you'll fish it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It looks like cobblestone laying down there, and Mille Lacs, east side, west side, is completely full of it just about on every area. So you'll notice that certain times of the year, smallmouth will be on big boulders. They'll be relating to bigger rock, bigger boulders. But in August, what I typically find is isolated rock bars with a good sand transition with a lot of that crayfish rock. And that's exactly what we're targeting today.
There we go.
Oh.
This is a good one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Another good one?
Yep. Gosh, these things are fun.
Well, they're just they don't give up. They're big. I mean, there's not many complaints about smallmouth, especially when you're getting the average size that we're getting today.
Oh,
there he is. I saw a little bit of a puke and rally there. There you go.
There we go. That tube is just gone. There we go. Beautiful fish. Thanks again, Brad. We'll get this one back. Get back in there.
Like, do I gotta put on? I might have to put on a tube.
You might have to.
I might have to put on a tube. I've been fighting it,
There she goes.
I think I might have got the right one now.
Watch it be a walleye.
Better not be a walleye. So I'm not sure how they're gonna edit this, but I literally have been cleaning up walleyes, and Pat's been coming behind me I mean, he's got a lot of big bass today. And I got like 1 3-pounder. And I think this is finally one. I hope it is.
That's a bass.
Oh no.
Is it a walleye?
Yeah, yep.
Well, one of those days.
One of those days, man. One of those days. You win some, you lose some.
Here he comes again. I'll let him jump.
Oh! That's over 4.
Yeah, oh yeah. There we go. Can't beat it, Mille Lacs Lake. Pretty darn good smallmouth fishing out here. Hard to beat really anywhere in the state. Brad's got us on the right program, fishing this kind of 8 to 14, 15 foot rock, just kind of the broken up stuff like he said. Not really, a lot of times this year, it might transition into kind of that bigger boulder bite at some point, but right now it's kind of just the broken up rock. Definitely pretty aggressive on him right now. There he is.
Why not? I literally just vacuumed another walleye up in front of Pat.
He's giving me those really angry, like,
zip, zip. Oh, Pat, that's big. That is big.
That's the biggest one of the day right there.
That's 21 plus inches right there, all of that.
Look at that. Just a giant smallmouth.
Oof,
unbelievable.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
All day, it's been a pretty consistent bite. I've said it a bunch of times, but just imitating those crayfish is really all we're doing right now to catch these fish. And that is a big one right there.
That's 5 plus, Pat.
Yeah, that's a 5 pluser. Yeah. All right, we'll get him back.
So that brings us to the end of today's show, and for all you bass fans out there, this should have been one of those episodes that gives you something to look forward to. I know we're all still under shelter in place, but this too shall pass. So for everyone that tuned in today, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.